crowds in Disney World aren't your problem?
You are.
You can't control them, but you can control your plans, priorities, and your pace. I'm your Disney World wingman, and here's how to win against the crowds. Crowds. Section 1, mental games. When you walk into a Disney park and it's packed, and I mean shoulder to shoulder, 100-minute wait for Winnie the Pooh packed, you have to make a decision right then. Are you gonna spend the whole day fighting it, or are you going to surrender to it and work with it? Because here's the truth, the crowds aren't the enemy, your resistance to the crowds is. You've got to shift your mindset or you're gonna ruin your own day. The second I realize the park is a zoo, I make a choice to meditate into that day. I don't mean literally sit down in lotus pose in the middle of Liberty Square, although honestly, that sounds like fun. I mean mentally adjust. I accept that it's going to be competitive. I accept that Genie Plus is going to be cutthroat and expensive. I accept that the lines will be long, the walkways will be clogged, and everything that could be annoying will be. And once I've made peace with that, well, I don't have to keep fighting it all day. That's the game right there. If you try to outplay the crowds, you'll lose. Because the crowds don't care about your strategy. They don't care about your plans. And they don't care how badly you wanted to ride Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. The crowds are a force of nature. You don't control them. What you control is you. Your energy, your priorities, your pace. And that's all you got. So here's how I personally play it. I pick 1 or 2 big rides that matter to me, and I go after those early. And I mean first thing in the morning, right at rope drop. But once I've done that, I shift immediately into flow mode. I stop chasing, stop stressing, I pivot based on what's out in front of me, and I stay free and loose. If Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is a 90-minute wait at 9:20 in the morning, I'm not gonna spend the next hour debating whether or not it's worth it. I'm just gonna move on. That's one of the biggest traps I see people fall into. They lock onto one idea and they can't let it go. And then they end up wasting their entire day arguing, stressing, or standing in the sun wondering why Disney isn't fun anymore. The key is not trying to do everything. The key is doing something and enjoying it. And if that first something doesn't work out, you pivot. There's always another attraction, there's always another snack, there's always another great quiet corner to sit in and regroup. I've said this before and I'll say it again, most people in the park are melting down. They're hot, they're tired, their kids are crying, and their plans have already fallen apart. If you can stay calm, if you can hold your center, you are already in the top 1% of guest experience. You've already won. Isn't that wild to think? And it costs nothing. Well, maybe therapy bills. I definitely had to learn this lesson the hard way. And that's the mental game. Surrender, pace, pivot. Don't play defense. Don't waste energy trying to control things you can't. Set a couple of priorities and let the rest of the day unfold. That's how you survive the chaos. And that's how you actually enjoy Disney World on a crowded day. Section 2, food and dining strategy. When the parks are crowded, food becomes a problem fast. And I'm not just talking about wait times, I'm talking about stress, logistics, and the emotional breakdown that happens when someone in your group is suddenly starving and the line at Pecos Bill is out the door. You have to plan, but more importantly, you have to pick your battles. Let's get this out of the way first. You do not need to eat at the most popular spots. In fact, you probably shouldn't during the busiest days. If it's a high crowd day and you're dragging yourself across Hollywood Studios at 1 p.m. thinking, we should try Woody's Lunchbox, I need you to stop. Turn around. That line is going to be miserable. Mobile order is going to be backed up for hours, and your grilled cheese isn't going to be worth the pain. This is where the magic of mid-tier quick service comes in. Places that were built to handle volume, but never became trendy, I guess. Think Backlot Express instead of ABC Commissary, or Pecos Bill instead of Columbia Harbor House. These aren't going to be life-changing meals, but they're efficient, they're comfortable, and they're going to get the job done without throwing your day off track. You want something with mobile order, a decent amount of indoor seating, and menu that isn't going to hold up the whole line with customization requests. Although, to be fair, that can happen anywhere. I do that sometimes. Sorry. I want to be part of the solution and not the problem, but sometimes I can't help it. And you've got to think ahead. Mobile order your lunch before 11 a.m. if you want to eat between noon and 2. Because once it's 12:30, that window will be gone, and then you'll be stuck either pushing your whole day back or scavenging like a raccoon at a Joffrey's cart. It's not worth it. Order early. Pick your return window. Then just show up, grab it, and go. Oh, and don't forget to eat it. That's the best part. Now, if you're the kind of person who can eat light and graze your way through the day, this is actually your moment. Snacks can be a way more efficient use of time rather than trying to shove in a big meal. Grab fruit from a stand, pick up a pretzel, maybe hit a festival booth if you're in Epcot. It's not going to be a balanced diet, but it will keep you moving. And sometimes that's the priority. And if you have a reservation at a table service restaurant on a packed day, first of all, congratulations and good job. Second, don't miss that reservation window. You'll be charged if you don't show up, and on busy days, they're not going to be flexible with you. Plan your whole route around that dining time because you're not going to get another shot. The bottom line here is simple. Don't let food ruin your day. Don't chase hype meals. Don't wait too long to eat. Don't expect walk-up availability anywhere. Choose low-drama locations, mobile order early, and know your backup plans. Because nothing derails a Disney day faster than being hungry in a sea of 40,000 people. Section 3, attraction prioritization. You cannot do everything on a crowded Disney day. Let me say that again for the perfectionists in the back. You cannot do everything. The sooner you accept that, the smoother your day is going to go. Prioritization is everything. You have to decide what actually matters to you and then build the rest of your day around that. Here's how I handle it. I pick 1 or 2 big rides. That's it. I make peace with the fact that those are the headliners I care about, and I let go of literally everything else. Usually I'll try to knock out one at rope drop and either use Genie Plus or a strategic wait time drop for the other. That way, I'm not chasing lightning lanes all day, standing in the sun for 90 minutes feeling like a chump. I got my wins. I'm good. My goals are met. Now, once I've done those top priorities, I pivot into the lowest wait time mode. I'm not gonna spend 60 minutes in line for Haunted Mansion when I could knock out 3 other rides with 20-minute waits. And that's the mindset shift that most people never make. They get fixated on what they planned instead of what's smart right now. The app is your best friend in this phase. Refresh constantly. Look for patterns, changes. Epcot in particular will swing hard between low waits and total chaos depending on the time of day and where the crowds are migrating. And let's be real, some attractions are just not worth it when the crowds are high. Peter Pan's Flight, I mean, if you have a family with small children, yeah, prioritize it, but unless you rope drop it or score a lightning lane, it's a waste of 70 minutes you'll never get back for such a short ride. Jungle Cruise in the middle of the day, you're gonna be standing in the sun for an hour, maybe 90 minutes, and then riding it in a cramped boat with sweaty strangers. Skip it or ride it later. Instead, think about what actually moves people through quickly. High-capacity rides like Pirates of the Caribbean, Spaceship Earth, or Kilimanjaro safaris tend to have deceptively short waits, even when the posted wait times look bad. Indoor shows can also buy you rest time while still counting as an attraction. I'll talk more about that later, but just know the more people an attraction can process per hour, the more valuable it becomes on a packed day. Also, don't sleep on single rider lines. Test Track, Expedition Everest, and Rock and Roller Coaster can be walk-ons if you're willing to split up. It's not guaranteed, and they don't always run them, but when they're open, they can be gold. And if you're using Genie Plus, just understand what you're signing up for. It's not magic, it's a tool. If you know how to work the refresh game, you can get good value out of it. If you don't, or you're expecting to make the crowds disappear, you're going to be disappointed. Set timers for when you can book your next return time. Refresh the app constantly. Be aggressive, but be realistic. You're not getting Slinky Dog and Rise and Tower and Runaway Railway. Pick your battles. To sum it up, choose your priorities, be smart with your time, and know when to walk away. The goal is not to hit everything, not on a busy day. It's to hit what matters and leave the park still liking Disney World and your family. Number 4, cooling zones and rest areas. If you don't know where to go when the heat and the crowds start pushing you to the edge, you're going to lose your mind before lunch. Because here's the thing, it's not just about beating the crowds, it's about surviving them. And sometimes survival means stepping away, finding a quiet spot and resetting before you start making decisions you're going to regret. Like getting into a screaming match with your loved one in front of Peter Pan's flight because you haven't eaten all day and mobile order won't let you pick a time before 4:45. Every park has cool-off zones, and I don't just mean places with air conditioning, I mean places where the energy shifts to low-key, where the crowds thin out, the noise dies down, and you can actually take a breath. These are the kinds of places I mentally flag in advance, so when I start overheating, literally or emotionally, I know exactly where to go. Let's break it down by park. Magic Kingdom is the hardest, and I'm not gonna lie, there's not a ton of indoor space. The traffic never really lets up, but you've got options. The Storybook Circus rest area right here isn't air conditioned, but it's quieter than most places in Magic Kingdom, and that matters. My top pick, though, is Tomorrowland Terrace, but only before 1:30 p.m. That's when they typically close it to prepare for dessert parties. If you're there early, it's shaded, it's breezy, and magically air-conditioned, even though it's outdoors. Yeah, you heard me, outdoor air conditioning. Now that's Disney magic. Epcot is the king of cool-off spaces. The Seas Pavilion, dark, cold, full of fish, perfect. The Land Pavilion, massive indoor space, plenty of seating, and people are so focused on Soarin' they forget to just sit down and chill. The American Adventure Building is another sleeper hit. You can sit in the rotunda before the show or just hang out as long as you want. Nobody will bother you. And the exit area of Test Track, just recently refurbished with excellent AC and tons of unused square footage. Go wander the Chevrolet showroom. No one else is. Hollywood Studios is chaos in the walkways, but you've got a savior. Star Wars Launch Bay. It's huge, it's indoors, and nobody's in there. Oh, and the air condition is so very effective. You can sit on a bench, watch some behind the scenes Star Wars stuff, and chill in the air conditioning while everyone else is melting in Toy Story Land. Don't overthink it, just go. Animal Kingdom is rough because there's almost no real indoor refuge. It's the hottest park and the least forgiving. But there is one strategy I swear by. Take the train out to Rafiki's Planet Watch. That's right, get out of the main park. Conservation Station is indoors, usually calm, and has legit seating areas. You can go to the animation class if you want, or just sit there and cool off. It takes time to get there, but that's the point. It forces you to slow down and reset. Don't go from rope drop to fireworks with no pause. That's how meltdowns happen. Every 90 to 120 minutes, give yourself a cool down checkpoint. Just 10 minutes off your feet, out of the sun, and away from the crowd can buy you 2 more hours of peace. Be the person who knows where to go. Be the one who says, we're not walking to Big Thunder right now. We're gonna sit down in this building with walls and AC and reevaluate our lives. This isn't about laziness, this is about survival. Build your rest breaks into the day, or the day will break you. Section 5, navigation and avoidance tactics. This might be the most revolutionary tip I ever give you. Look at a map. Yeah, I said it. Check that map out. No, seriously though, just like literally open the My Disney Experience app or ask for a park map when you're in the park and look at it. You'd be shocked how many people walk around Walt Disney World like they're navigating by vibes and trauma instead of the tools that are literally in their pocket. The My Disney Experience app has a full interactive map of every park. You can also grab a paper map at the entrance, just like it's 1999 or 1971. We'll take it all the way back. Wherever you get your map, have one with you. Use it. Reference it like your life depends on it, because sometimes it does. Especially when it's 95 degrees, feels like 107, you've been standing in a crowd for 10 minutes, and you're about to scream because nobody's moving. Here's the deal. All the parks look wide open. That's part of the design, but then they bottleneck real bad. And if you're not paying attention, you'll end up trapped in a sea of people shuffling along like cattle, moving 6 inches a minute towards an area you thought was a shortcut. Spoiler alert, it never is. Well, sometimes it is. I wish I could tell you all about every shortcut. If only I could download all of the backup plans and route adjustments I've built in my brain for every park in Walt Disney World. Maybe someday I'll make a whole video about just that, but let's be real, it would be so dense most people wouldn't even retain a single one. So for now, here's the one that matters. When you see a crowded path, pause, look at a map, and pick another route. That's it. So when you're walking from one part of the park to another and you can already see the walkway ahead is jammed, don't just follow the herd. Don't tell yourself, it'll probably open up. It won't. Open your map. Look at your options. There's always a different way. Maybe it's a longer route, but if it keeps you moving, that's a win. And it's gonna be more comfortable than standing still in a pack of miserable guests watching someone's balloon pop and ruin a toddler's day. I really hate when that happens. It makes me very sad. It reminds me of a time I watched a balloon escape from my clutches as I was getting into my parents' car in the 1980s. I've really never gotten over that. It was red. Section 6, entertainment and shows. Here's the thing about Disney World entertainment. Parades, fireworks, character meet and greets, all of it. They create crowd vacuums, which means if you're not participating in them, you now have the upper hand. When it's time for fireworks, a huge percentage of the people in the park are going to stop what they're doing, gather in one area, and stand for at least 20 minutes, probably more like an hour. And that's the perfect time for you to move. That's your opportunity to hit rides with lower wait times, mobile order food without a backup, or just walk freely through areas that were previously gridlocked. Same goes for parades. The minute Festival of Fantasy starts rolling, Main Street and the hub lock up, and that clears out other parts of the park. If you time it right, you can slide into a Frontierland attraction, grab a snack in Adventureland, or jump on something like Space Mountain or Pirates of the Caribbean with a shorter wait than you'd get any other time of the day. This is the strategy. Don't follow the crowd, use the crowd. When you know the general public is going to be parked in one spot like Happily Ever After or Luminous at Epcot or Fantasmic at Hollywood Studios, you pivot. You move in the opposite direction. The people watching the show aren't in line for rides. The people waiting to wave at Mickey during a cavalcade aren't mobile ordering food. Use that window. And if you do want to watch one of those shows, that's great. Just build it into your day. Know the schedule, know where you want to stand, get there early if it matters to you, but don't get caught in the in-between. Don't be the person sprinting across the hub at 8:57 p.m. trying to catch fireworks while dragging a confused group behind you. Commit to it, or don't. Halfway is where things start to fall apart. And let's be clear about character meet and greets. They are not efficient use of time on a crowded day. They take forever. They often don't have posted wait times that reflect reality, and most of the time, they're outdoors. So if it's your thing, go for it. But know what you're getting into. So if you want the real secret weapon for handling a packed park day, it's this. Ride when others are watching. Eat when others are waiting. Move when others are standing still. Let the entertainment schedule work in your favor, even if you don't care about the show itself. It's not about skipping entertainment, it's about knowing when to act while everyone else is distracted. Group dynamics and planning ahead. There's nothing worse than finally getting into the park after weeks of anticipation. You're through security, magic band scanned, and the castle's in sight, and suddenly everyone stops moving because nobody can agree on what to do next. You've waited months for this day, and now you're just standing in a clump on Main Street while people say things like, I don't care, what do you want to do? And should we eat now? And wait, what rides are here again? Oh, nightmare. And I hear it every single day. And that's how the meltdown starts, and it's completely preventable if you plan ahead. The best thing you can do before a crowded Disney day, weeks or even months in advance, is start having the hard conversations. And I don't mean, what are you excited for? I mean, what do you want to prioritize? What are you unwilling to skip? What ride are you willing to rope drop or wait 90 minutes for if necessary? Here's how I do it. I send out a questionnaire to everyone in the travel party. Google Forms, Typeform, whatever you want. It doesn't have to be fancy. You just need answers. Ask them for their number one ride, show, and attraction in each park. Break it up into categories if you want. Thrill ride, family ride, entertainment, food. You can even make it multiple choice to keep it easy, but make sure it's focused. No vague, what do you like questions. Ask what they need. You're doing this so that you as the planner can build a structure around what actually matters to your group, not what you think matters, and not what people will randomly shout at you at 9:45 a.m. when everyone's hangry and overstimulated. This works for food too. Ask people, what kind of meals do you want? Are you okay with mobile order? Would you rather have one nice sit-down meal a day or just graze? Ask what snacks they're dying to try. Ask if anyone's vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-sensitive, picky, or won't eat anything that touches a vegetable. Find out now, not while you're standing in line at Regal Eagle, trying to build world peace between a barbecue lover and someone who just realized they hate smoke flavor. If you're the planner, the one driving the bus, you need data. You need leverage. You need to be able to say, you said your number one was flight of passage, so we're rope dropping it. That's the plan, end of discussion. And look, not everyone's gonna fill it out. Not everyone's going to be thoughtful. But even getting half the group to articulate their priorities ahead of time makes a massive difference, because when the day gets chaotic, and it will, you have a roadmap. You're not guessing, you're not arguing, you're not stuck in that I don't know what I want to do death spiral that wastes your morning and ruins the vibes. So if you're traveling with family, friends, a partner, a group chat of casual acquaintances, whatever, send the form early. Ask the questions, build the plan, because once you're in the park, you don't want to be asking what people want. You want to be acting on what you already know they want. You probably already know my motto by now. My rain gear is denial. And this is a great moment for you to experience the reality of that. I just stand up tall, stand up straight, and I walk with distinction. And somehow other people tend to get a lot more wet than me, and that's mystifying. There's probably some metaphysical explanation for it, but that's not the tip that I want to add to this video. What I'm seeing happen right now is a phenomenon that happens almost every day during the rainy or the wet season here in Central Florida, and Walt Disney World is no exception. It's gonna rain. It's gonna rain at some point during your trip, and what a lot of people do when it rains is they leave the park. Don't do that. Never do that. Come prepared. If your rain gear isn't denial, if your rain gear is real rain gear and you need it, pack it. There's lots of families walking around with ponchos and umbrellas right now. Well, not a lot. There's a couple, because everyone else has left. And that means when this storm passes, or this rain passes in about 20 minutes, this park is going to be yours. So don't leave during a storm. That's probably the biggest crowd tip I could possibly give you. Section 9, when the plan falls apart. Let me say the quiet part out loud. Your plan will fall apart. You can do everything right. Wake up early, mobile order lunch, rope drop the big ride, pack your group's priorities, even book a lightning lane for the perfect window, and something will always go sideways. The ride breaks down, the app glitches, someone gets sick, it starts pouring. Does this deter us? No, because our rain gear is denial. Look at me, I'm already dry. Or maybe you just hit that midday emotional wall and can't keep pushing. That moment is coming, and the best thing you can do for yourself is to plan for that moment, not just around it. You've already done the work. You're already here watching this video. You're smart. You are getting yourself prepared. But part of surviving a crowd in a Disney day, maybe the most important part, is what you do when the day stops playing along. Here's what I do. First, I stay calm. I don't spin out. I don't scream into the void. I don't chase down a cast member with fire in my eyes. Why? Because I know what happens when I approach them with compassion instead. I get help. I get options. I get results. I've been in the parks long enough to tell you guest experience cast members are working in chaos every day. Guest experience and guest relations. The ones who can help you the fastest are the ones who don't have to first talk you off a cliff. Be honest, be clear, tell them what happened, tell them how it's affecting your day, and ask for help. You'll almost always get it. Second, and this is very important, I let go of the script. That perfect ride you didn't go on, let it go. That dining reservation you had your heart set on that you just accidentally missed, let it go. I know it's hard. I know you paid a fortune to be here, but you're still here. You're still in the most detail-rich, emotionally charged, creatively built vacation destination in the world. That's not gone. The ride is, the reservation is, but your day doesn't have to be. So pivot. I know I keep saying that, but really that's what the video's about. Reset. Go grab a drink, find shade, mobile order a snack you weren't planning on but suddenly think is a great idea. Walk into a store with air conditioning with no objective. Just breathe for a second. I need to breathe for a second because I just realized that I'm standing literally in a puddle filming this. And it's really become monsoon level. Children are screaming. Oh dear. And if it's deeper than that, if someone in your group is hitting their limit, if it's all unraveling, if you're the one unraveling, go back to the hotel, take a nap, take a shower, start over in the evening. There's nothing to prove. Nobody's handing out medals or awards for who suffered the hardest. You came to feel something good. You came to make memories. You're allowed to protect that experience, even if it means changing course. Disney World isn't built to protect your plan. Unfortunately. It's not a luxury cruise or a full service resort anymore. It's high stakes DIY. And if you want to survive a crowded day inside that system, you have to keep your center even when everything around you starts spinning. And when the day crumbles, that's the moment when your preparation finally pays off. Not because everything went to plan, but because you knew how to keep going when it didn't go to plan. Section 10, a long day isn't a bad day. The days are long, and that's not a complaint, that's part of the deal. You wake up early, you go hard, you pack more memories into a single day than most people do in a week. And when it's working, when you're in it, when the light is just right and the music is swelling and you're running on 2 hours of sleep, but you're still laughing, and that's the part that makes it feel like a dream. That's the reason people come here. That's the magic that doesn't live anywhere else. But when you start to hit a wall, when you're exhausted and overstimulated, and thinking back on how much work it took just to get here, let alone how much it cost to get here, that's when you need to remember this. A hard day isn't a bad day. A long day isn't a bad day. A crowded day doesn't cancel the magic. This is just what a vacation looks like now at Walt Disney World. It takes more from you. It asks more of you, but it still gives back. And that's what this video is about. It's not about scaring you off. It's not about convincing you that Disney isn't worth it. It's about preparing you, giving you the truth, the tools, and the mindset to walk in with your eyes open, so when it does get hard, you don't spiral. You adapt, pivot, recover, and keep going. Because the people who have the best time in Walt Disney World, the ones who come home remembering the magic instead of the stress, aren't the ones who avoided every problem. They're the ones who handled it. And if you made it to the end, go ahead and put this password in the comments below. And while you're down there, hit like and subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll be the first to know when myself or one of my friends comes out with a brand new video, something we do all week. And yes, truly, I am showcasing the reality that my rain gear is denial. And I feel great. I just know that I'm fine. And I'm not soaking wet, and I feel great. So I hope that you do too. Have a great one. See you next time. Bye.